Welcome to England and the Lee Valley Whitewater Centre for the first International Canoe Federation's Slalom World Cup of the 2014 season. 237 athletes from 35 nations are competing in the 5 slalom categories on the legendary London 2012 Olympic course. I'm Matthew Leighton, so sit back and enjoy the action. The channel that they've been set today is very difficult, very fast. Look here, the Hawkshawners, 3-time Olympic champions, missed the gate. Was it tiredness? Was it trying to go too fast? Here we see Florence, and she's also done the same. These are top paddlers. Yves Nazouzi from France and Paul Radcliffe from England have set an incredibly different course. And as we see here, 2 times world champion Peter Kauser suffers just trying to turn himself, and he unfortunately dislocated a shoulder. So it's tough, it's unforgiving, but it is fair. Let's go into the action. First up, the Kayak men's singles, the K1 international field here. Former world champion Etienne Dye, but one of 4 brothers in the competition, Matthias Polacek from Poland. Known for his fitness, his strength, and as you can understand, with 4 brothers training together, competition is always guaranteed. Really solid start. The key is keep yourself close to the gates, use the power of the water to skim across. Lining himself up is a really difficult combination. Sticks close to the gate, trying to keep the good line. There are choices, but he really 1 stroke, 2 stroke, out and is through, back in the flow of this course. 12 tons per second are going down the course of 250 meters. Relentless, stopper after stopper after stopper. Crucial, the gate number 18 managed to keep it going. Again, in and out in 2 strokes. This is where the lactic acid is starting to take effect. They've now been going full out for over 80 seconds. A very tricky last stage and sprints for the line. And puts down a really good, strong reference time. Matthias Polacek, the first of 10 finalists to go today. 64 brave competitors started out the competition 2 days ago. Here in action is a flyer. Last week in Vienna, he was silver medalist in the European Championships. And this, amazingly, is the first time he's made a final in the World Cup Series. Vit Prindis, 25 years old, recently changed his coach and now training day in, day out with Vadra Hadalek, the world champion. Maybe that's making a difference. In and out very quickly. That's the oval section. A big drop. There are 6 upstream gates, by the way. They are the red and white ones, and 17 downstream gates. They're the green and white ones. Perhaps wasting a second or 2 there. But as we said, the tiredness is coming into play. The boat seems to have stalled a little bit. He needs to get the momentum going, coming really close. Can he make it? So far, he goes up into first place. Seemed to stall in the last few gates. Boris Nevu from France. In the semi-finals, he had the fastest pure time, although he did have a 2-second penalty. 28 years old. In the last season, was the most solid performer for France. But so far, solidly negotiating his boat through the top section. As you can see, keeping the bow dry, and that's the key. Lining himself up. Tricky oval section, needs to get across. Different ways you can do it. He seems to work out the most efficient. Again, in and out on 2 strokes. Coming down, the biggest drop of the course, which is named after the biggest mountain range in the UK, Ben Nevis. The last tricky upstream of the day. As you can see, he's really able to stick to his line. He's one of the few competitors that has fins on the bottom of his boat. Here he comes. fighting over the line. It is going to be close. And he goes into the lead. Consistently fast. Confirmation of the results. Boris Neviu takes the gold for France. Vit Prindis silver for the Czech Republic, and Matthias Polacek takes the bronze for Poland. On with the action, we're switching from kayaks to canoes. It's the women's C1. As we know, this is going to be on the Olympic program. The depth of field is increasing all the time. In your picture, 18-year-old Ailey Gibson from Scotland. Did incredibly well in the British trials. Also last week in Vienna, made the final. She's only had one World Cup outing before, that was in Bratislava 2013, but she doesn't feel the pressure. There is a touch though. She's known to like the big water, and just as well because it is really, really tough. Perhaps a little bit low on the upstream 18, having to fight her way across the water. Showing local knowledge, switching as many of the ladies do. Outstanding run from the 18-year-old. Powers over the line. And it's a huge lead. Takes provisional first place, 8.81 seconds above the rest. Good support out. The weather's perhaps a little bit wet, but who cares? 19-year-old Mallory Franklin also goes in the K1 category. She really is starting to master this discipline. In the last couple of years, she's had many silver medals, including 2013 World Championships in Prague. Another one to love the big white water. And showing local knowledge, knows exactly where to put the boat. Mallory's older brother Zach is also competing. He's competing in the C2s. Keeping close to the gate. That's possibly the best we've seen so far today. And not wasting too much time going across the sticky rapids there. Here we go. Lining herself up nicely. In the semi-final, she was way ahead of the rest. And the time looks really, really good. She's won by a massive 9.8 seconds. Ellie Gibson, in your picture, can't believe that she's taken a medal. A 1-2 for Great Britain. Mallory Franklin takes gold. Ellie Gibson takes silver, and Zhang Cheng for China takes the bronze. What's your first paddling memory?
So my first kayaking memory ever was taking this big plastic dancer from Perception out into the lake and just trying to sink it. We pretty much thought it was a surfboard, didn't really know what it was, and me and my brother just stood on it for a couple of hours in the sun.
When I was 5, me and my brother went to the local ice centre to find something to do next door's canoe club. We got involved in paddling ever since. I was
about eight years old, got in a canoe, wasn't very good at all, so told my dad, oh, do you know what, I don't fancy going canoeing anymore, so opted out, and he said, oh, go on Tom, just go a few more times, and then got into it and started enjoying it.
My neighbor registering me in a club, and I didn't know what that sport was exactly.
My first memory is that my mother fixed my boat next to the ground, and that I can just paddle for 5 meters, and I was really fast, and at the end I was doing like this. Tuk.
The first time I was about 6 years old, and I was on the lake with the inflatable boat.
Getting in the boat when I was 6 years old and paddling straight for the first time, and it was really amazing that I could manage to go straight.
The field for the men's C1, international and very, very strong. It's anyone's game. First to go for Slovakia, 26-year-old Matej Beneš, ranked number 5 in the world at the moment. Surprisingly, only came 4th in the Slovakia trials. So not guaranteed a position in the World Championships. But here we are, World Cup number 1. Bit of an original style. Very long, free-flowing, looks like not really trying. Well, here he's trying. Perhaps let himself a little bit down on the upstream. But he's up on the split so far. This is the Ben Nevis drop. Manages to keep it in. Various tactics employed. Not wasting any time here, but, well, making a bit of a mess of that gate. It's going to be a 2-second penalty. And now just a case of charging on through. Where's he going to be? Well, I think he's left some time out on the course. In the provisional lead, but he is full of regrets. David Florence, he's the local poster boy, and why not? 31 years old. In Prague 2013, won the gold medal in the C1 and C2 categories. You know he's got local knowledge, he knows exactly where to put the boat. Dipping in and out of these extremely difficult gates with ease. Known for his power, his motivation. In and out with 2 strokes. A massive 1.56 seconds up. David Florence from a canoeing family. Oh, he's made a bit of a mistake there. Too close to the pole. That's a 2-second penalty, but he is up on the clock and really using the flow to the maximum advantage. Powering over the line. Takes the provisional lead, 4.25 seconds ahead of the field. It's fair to say this is one of the greatest paddlers of all time. Michael Martican from Slovakia, medalled in 5 Olympics. 2 golds, 2 silvers and a bronze. But he's low, he's well low. Every stroke is half a second. That is a real challenge. Missed the 2013 World Cup Series. And there's another one. This run is perhaps falling apart. Anyone's capable of making up time, it's Martican. Was Olympic champion at 17 years old. Oh, look at the split. 7.41 seconds off the pace. Even Martican's not going to be able to make that up. But at 18, very tight. 19, very tight. But the 2-second penalties is going to cost him heavily. Sprinting over the line. Where's he going to come? Well, he's made up an awful lot of time, but clearly 7.5 seconds was too much to do. Official results on your screen now. David Florence of Great Britain takes the gold medal. Matej Beneš from Slovakia takes the silver, and Michael Martican from Slovakia takes the bronze.
I think to win anywhere on any day against all these top guys in the world is really special. So at home even more so. Especially, you know, I've only raced here at a major race at the Olympic Games before, and to not even be in the final was a huge disappointment. So to come back to the next race and get on top of the podium, really pleased. What a great day for me.
Course layout's the same, the discipline's different. It's the women's K1, a truly international field. The Olympic champion and former Olympic champions are all over this field. Here we go, Karina Kullner from Austria, 2 times world champion. On her day, no one's going to beat her. She's so powerful. Great number 10, negotiates that incredibly well. Here she comes into the oval. It's a tricky one. Karina has revenge to take on this course in the Olympics. The wind blew at pole. She had great problems and ended up finishing 8th. But crucially, she's managing to keep the boat moving. Round 18, surfing across. Oh, she's a bit close there, a little bit close, wasting time, and 2-second penalty points. That's going to be expensive. Can she keep her concentration? It's a difficult last 2 poles. Powers over the line. Karina Kulner takes the provisional first place. As we see, was a little bit caught out in the final upstream. Lu Li from China. Recently in the Under-23 World Championships in Penrith, Australia, she took an amazing 2nd place. And she's still on the pace, only 1.42 seconds down. 22 years old. The last time we saw her on the international scene, World Cup in La Cédagale 2 years ago, she came 18th. But really holding it together nicely, not taking many risks, going through the center of the poles. And she's up on the split. Here she goes. Interesting enough, after this series, she goes back to prepare for the Asian Games. That's going to be a flat water slalom. And here she comes, really using the water. As you can see, her stroke length starting to get a little bit shorter. It just shows the tiredness after 93 seconds of hard work. But the essentials she's doing right. It's going to be a cracking time here. And by 0.39 of a second, she moves into first place. Karina Kulner appreciating that run. This young lady, we know, can handle the pressure. Jessica Fox from Australia. Mother and father, both multiple World Championship winners. Known for her technical prowess, both in canoe and kayak. That's interesting. 3.93 seconds down from the Olympic silver medalists on this course. She's known to keep her cool. She's known for her fast finishes. But this, as I say, is a really, really tough course. Clear at this point. Into the main flow. 3 gates to go. It's going to be close. How's she going to do it? It's outside the top time. Lu Li takes the gold. Look at that excitement there from the 22-year-old Chinese paddler. That's the first K1 World Cup goal for China. Well done, Li Lu. Karina Kulner, Austria takes the silver, and Jessica Fox, a bronze medal for Australia.
Hi, I'm David Florence, C1 and C2 paddler together with...
Hi, I'm Richard Hounslow, competing with David in C2, and I also compete in K1.
The crew seems to work really well with our styles, although they're quite different. They mean that we take on different parts of the roles. Richard gets the steering at the back, just make sure in the right place, and sometimes I put down some more of the power, and it seems to gel pretty well together.
I think fortunately David is a very patient person, so it's usually me that maybe gets frustrated at things, and David's the level-headed one and just says, okay, don't worry, we'll come back tomorrow, we'll start again, and and start learning again. Obviously 2 years ago we were here competing at the London Olympics, and we won a silver medal, which was amazing. Still got the memories of finishing, throwing our hands up, jumping in, and just generally celebrating.
Well, it's very exciting when things go well. We train hard all year for big races like the one coming up at this weekend, and in C2 especially, sharing that to get to stand on the podium is a lot of fun. It's so much work, so much investment just to get to the next Olympic Games that for now you know, we're just focusing on racing as well as we can throughout each season, training as hard as we can in the spare time. And
David now has 2 Olympic silver medals, I have 1, and I think we both want that gold. So we're all about pushing ourselves, trying to make ourselves the best we possibly can, hopefully coming to Rio and taking that gold medal.
Switching from kayak singles to canoe doubles. As you can see, an incredibly strong field. The Hawkshawners missed out. But Luka Bozic, Sasso Taliat, they've come fresh from a really good performance, taking the bronze medal in the Euros last week. 23 and 24 years old, now been together for many years. And they're negotiating the top section incredibly well. If you see Luka Bozic in the bow of the boat, he's leaning back most of the time. They're a small crew, incredibly flexible, and they can up the pace at the same time. Sweeping round. And can they get across quickly without wasting any time? That is incredibly efficient. Perhaps an advantage for the back righty. Oh, look at that. Nearly 4 seconds up at the split. This is known as a 9 out of 10 difficulty course for the C2s. It's exactly the same pole widths as the other disciplines. Here they're coming. And that's another faultless display. They're putting down an incredibly strong performance. Through the last gate, this is going to be, wow. 4.78 seconds up. That's the fastest time of the weekend. This is the Skantar cousins, 31-year-old Ladislav and Peter, multiple European champions, including last week in Vienna. Many say they're incredibly unlucky to be born in the same generation as the Hawkshawners. It looks like they're taking a fault early on, but they are fast, keeping the boat flowing all the way down. Perhaps a stroke too many there. Coming across the main flow. In and out, very, very efficiently there. Very, very tight on the downstream gates. Paddle away, and where they're going to be? Well, 2.82 seconds off the lead, but the first run by Bosnic and Taliak was incredible. Franz Anton, Jan Benzian, both top C1 paddlers. In fact, Benzian in 2002 was on the medal table in the C1 World Championships. They've been together now for 2 years, and they're up. Jan Benzian, look at that. He's reaching almost further forward than Franz Anton, an incredibly rangy paddler. Oh, there's a hit. Jan Benzian sometimes believes he's in his C1 boat still. The combination does work, however. Look how far forward he gets. Both very powerful paddlers and totally understand the water. Here we go. Can they keep it clean in the last section? Here we go. And they move into second place. The last result of today's activities, Slovenia take gold, Germany silver, and Slovakia take the bronze medal.
Well, it's always great to win, especially here on this really challenging course in London and beating the English on their own terrain.
That's it from the London Olympic course. Look forward to seeing you next weekend in Tatian, Slovenia.